The pages of the Bible are filled with promises and prophecies that have shaped the faith of millions over the centuries. But have you ever stopped to think about how many of them are about to come true? Imagine a world where ancient truths intertwine with current events, revealing a surprising panorama of the future. As the signs intensify around us, many are asking, are we living in the last days? What do the scriptures tell us about what is to come? Each prophecy is like a piece of a divine puzzle, and when united, they offer us a fascinating vision of what God is about to accomplish. While some may ignore these signs, others feel the urgency to be alert. What would you do if you knew you were about to witness something monumental? And what if that revelation were closer than we imagine? Get ready to dive into a theme that could change your perspective on the future and strengthen your faith. The prophecies are approaching, and history is about to take a new turn. Let's explore together these 5 prophecies that may be at the door. Religious prophecies. Religious prophecies play a central role in various spiritual traditions around the world. Sacred texts like the Bible and the Quran contain passages that many believers think predict future events, which can be interpreted in various ways over time. For some, these prophecies are a source of hope and faith, while for others, they represent a call to action or a warning about what is to come. It is interesting to note how, in times of crisis, these interpretations tend to intensify, reflecting the emotional state and concerns of society. When we analyze the prophecies of the Bible, for example, many focus on apocalyptic passages, such as those in the Book of Revelation. These visions of global catastrophes and transformations resonate with contemporary challenges, leading many to wonder if we are indeed approaching the end times. In the Quran, some interpretations speak of the Day of Judgment and the events that precede that moment, leading believers to remain vigilant and prepared for what is to come. The way prophecies are interpreted can vary significantly between different religious groups. While some see these predictions as literal, others prefer a more symbolic approach, believing that they communicate deep spiritual truths rather than concrete predictions. This diversity of interpretations makes the subject even more fascinating, as it reveals how faith and hope can shape human understanding of the future. Moreover, the emotional connection that many have with these prophecies can influence their attitudes toward world events. Believers may feel more compelled to act in response to crises, believing that they are living in prophesied times. This brings up the question of how personal beliefs can impact collective decisions, especially in moments of global uncertainty. It is undeniable that religious prophecies continue to play a significant role in the lives of millions of people. Whether seen as promises of redemption or warnings of calamity, they continue to fuel debates and reflections on what the future may hold. The search for meaning amidst chaos is a constant in the human experience, and religious prophecies offer a path for many on this journey. Climate change and environmental prophecies. In recent years, the debate over climate change has gained prominence, raising questions about how these environmental transformations relate to contemporary prophecies. The increasing frequency of natural disasters like hurricanes, wildfires, and floods has led many to reflect on the possibility that these events are part of a larger prophetic picture. This intersection between science and spirituality generates heated discussions about the future of our planet. Some groups interpret natural disasters as warning signs, linking them to prophecies that speak of the Earth's destruction due to human negligence. This perspective suggests that as environmental crises intensify, we are indeed fulfilling a prophetic narrative that has existed for centuries. This view can serve as a wake-up call, motivating actions to protect the environment and promoting greater awareness of the need for sustainable changes. On the other hand, some argue that while prophecies may be inspiring or motivating, science should be the basis for our decisions about the environment. This view suggests that rather than waiting for prophetic signs, we must act immediately to mitigate the effects of climate change and protect our planet. This practical approach is crucial, especially in a global scenario that demands urgent and effective solutions. Still, it is undeniable that many seek spiritual connection in times of environmental crisis. Environmental prophecies can offer a sense of purpose and hope, encouraging actions aimed at restoring and protecting the Earth. The idea that we are all interconnected in a great tapestry of life can inspire a sense of collective responsibility, emphasizing the importance of caring for creation and the world we inhabit. The relationship between prophecies and climate change is complex and multifaceted. As we face unprecedented environmental challenges, the search for meaning and understanding can lead to both deep reflection and decisive action. This dialogue between belief and science is essential for shaping the future we want to build. Geopolitical conflicts and war prophecies. Geopolitical conflicts are a constant reality in human history, and many believe that prophecies about wars and turmoil have relevance in the current context. In particular, some religious traditions speak of wars that will occur in regions like the Middle East, leading to questions about the truth and fulfillment of these predictions. The geopolitical tension in this region often fuels apocalyptic narratives, where prophecies intertwine with political reality. A clear example is the interpretation of some biblical passages that mention wars and conflicts. For many, these prophecies seem to mirror contemporary events, such as the conflicts in the Middle East and global political instability. This perspective can intensify fears of an impending catastrophe, leading to a cycle of anxiety and expectation that permeates society. On the other hand, some argue that prophecies should not be seen as literal predictions, but rather as reflections on the human condition and the inevitable conflicts that arise throughout history. This view suggests that although wars are a recurring theme in prophecies, the true message may be about the need for peace and reconciliation rather than a grim and violent future. Moreover, how the media and society respond to these conflicts can be influenced by prophetic beliefs. The narrative that we are living in prophesied times can shape how people engage with political and social issues, leading to mobilization in search of peaceful and just solutions. This response can be seen as an attempt to turn prophecy into action, promoting peace instead of war. The relationship between war prophecies and contemporary geopolitical conflicts is a fertile field for exploration. As history advances and new crises emerge, the interpretation of these prophecies may continue to evolve, reflecting the hopes and fears of societies. The challenge will be to find a path that transcends grim predictions, promoting understanding and peace in a constantly changing world. Technology and the future of humanity. When we think about prophecies related to technology, the digital revolution we are experiencing immediately comes to mind. Artificial intelligence, for example, is constantly evolving, and its implications for society are vast and sometimes alarming. Many contemporary prophets speak of a future where machines not only assist, but also make decisions that affect our daily lives. This raises questions about human autonomy and what it means to be human in a world where technology can replace many traditional functions. In addition to artificial intelligence, another growing concern is the social control mechanisms being implemented through technology. Surveillance systems, data collection, and algorithms that influence our daily choices are becoming increasingly common. Prophecies that speak of an all-seeing eye seem to be coming true as technology advances. The idea that privacy will become a relic of the past is a theme explored by authors and thinkers who analyze the digital future of humanity. These transformations are not limited to control, but also to how societies organize and communicate. With the rise of social networks, we have seen how technology can create information bubbles where truths are shaped and manipulated. This brings to light prophecies about a future where disinformation becomes a powerful tool for social control. What does this mean for freedom of expression and opinion formation? Without a doubt, it is a fertile field for prophetic reflections. Moreover, prophecies about technological singularity, a point where artificial intelligence surpasses human intelligence, are frequently discussed. What happens when machines become smarter than us? The possibility of a new era, where humans may lose their prominent position, is a concern that echoes in many contemporary discourses. This idea of a new human brings to the forefront ethical and moral issues that, if not debated, could lead to unpredictable consequences. The intersection between technology and spirituality is also a topic gaining attention. As machines become more sophisticated, the question arises, what does it mean to have a spiritual experience in a world dominated by technology? Some prophecies suggest that humanity's future may include a reinterpretation of spirituality, where technology is not seen as an enemy, but as a means of connecting individuals to something greater. This opens up a range of possibilities for what we might consider as full life in a futuristic scenario. Social and cultural transformations. When we talk about prophecies predicting significant changes in social and cultural values, it is impossible not to think about the rapid transformations that society has experienced in recent decades. What was once considered normal can quickly become obsolete, and new ideologies emerge in the blink of an eye. This phenomenon has been interpreted by some as a fulfillment of prophecies that speak of the evolution of morality and customs. The struggle for equal rights, for example, is a reflection of a cultural transformation that many believe was foreseen. Another aspect to consider is the growing diversity in contemporary societies. As values expand to include a broader range of human experiences, new narratives challenge established norms. Prophecies about the acceptance and inclusion of different cultures and identities have been a constant in social movements. What once seemed unlikely now becomes part of daily conversation, questioning the structure of power and morality that governed societies for so long. This transformation is not without resistance. Often, social changes are accompanied by counterreactions, and this can be seen as a fulfillment of prophecies that speak of divisions and social conflicts. The clash between the new and the old, between progressivism and conservatism, reflects a struggle that can be seen as part of a historical cycle. Thus, social transformations not only shape culture, but also reveal the tensions that exist within it. The issue of ethics also becomes central to this debate. As new values emerge, what was considered acceptable can quickly be reevaluated. Prophecies that speak of the evolution of ethics and morality become relevant as society faces dilemmas that have no precedent, such as bioethics in reproductive technologies or the implications of advancing artificial intelligence. This reflection on what is right or wrong is a vital component of cultural changes. Social and cultural transformations also reflect a search for meaning in a constantly changing world. Many prophecies speak of humanity's need to find a purpose, a calling that transcends current circumstances. This search can lead to movements that challenge not only social norms, but also the very idea of what it means to live in community. In times of uncertainty, the need for transformation becomes a driving force that shapes the future of humanity in ways we are only beginning to understand. The rise of new leaders and movements. When we talk about the rise of new leaders and movements, it is interesting to note how prophecies often capture the collective imagination. Many believe that certain charismatic figures emerge in times of crisis, when society needs a voice to unite and inspire it. Stories about leaders who appear in times of turmoil are common in various traditions, and this is no coincidence. The need for change and renewal is a persistent theme in human history, and prophecies can serve as a mirror of these needs. Moreover, the idea that social movements can be predictive also deserves attention. When we look at the protests and social movements that have gained strength in recent decades, such as civil rights, feminism, and, more recently, mobilizations around climate justice, we realize that many of them were seen as responses to predictions or collective longings. Prophecies about the transformation of society often manifest in concrete actions that seek to challenge established power structures. In many cases, these leaders or movements not only challenge social norms, but also offer new visions and paradigms. The emergence of political figures who stand out for their populist rhetoric or their promises of radical change can be seen as a fulfillment of prophecies that speak of popular dissatisfaction. Thus, the connection between prophecies and the rise of new leaders is a fertile field for analysis, where the past and present intertwine. Social networks also play a crucial role in this phenomenon. The ability of a charismatic leader to communicate directly with the people, without the need for intermediaries, can be seen as a fulfillment of ancient prophecies about the closeness between leaders and their communities. This changes the traditional power dynamics, allowing emerging movements to gain strength quickly and unexpectedly, something that many believe was already predicted by prophets of past eras. It is fascinating to observe how the rise of new leaders and movements is not limited only to political issues. Often, these phenomena also reflect broader cultural and social changes, and the prophecies surrounding them can offer a valuable perspective on society's hopes and fears. Thus, the relationship between prophecies and contemporary leadership is a field full of nuances and meanings. Astronomical events and their prophetic interpretations. When it comes to astronomical events and their prophetic interpretations, humanity has always had a special relationship with the sky. Since ancient times, eclipses, comets, and planetary alignments have often been seen as signs of significant events. Many civilizations, such as the Mayans and Babylonians, studied these phenomena and incorporated them into their prophetic narratives. What becomes fascinating is how these interpretations still resonate today, in a world where science and spirituality often coexist in a complex way. Today, the popularity of astronomical phenomena, such as solar and lunar eclipses, generates a wave of curiosity and speculation. Many people gather to observe these events, and social media is full of comments about what these phenomena might mean. For many, an eclipse can symbolize a change, a new beginning, or even a warning that something important is about to happen. The ability to connect these events to ancient prophecies is part of a continuous search for meaning in a constantly transforming world. The interpretation of astronomical events can also be seen in broader contexts, such as the planetary alignments that occur periodically. Some believe that these alignments can influence social behaviors or even global politics. The idea that stars and planets can impact life on Earth is a belief that crosses cultures and eras, and the connection between astronomy and prophecy is a rich area for exploration. Moreover, the growing popularity of modern astrology has brought new dimensions to these interpretations. Many people turn to astrology to better understand their lives and what the future may hold. The fusion of astronomical events and personal predictions reflects a human desire to feel connected to something greater, and this connection is often mediated by prophetic narratives that permeate popular culture. Finally, the relationship between astronomical events and their prophetic interpretations is a testament to how the search for meaning is a constant in the human experience. While science offers us rational explanations for these phenomena, spirituality and prophetic beliefs provide an emotional and symbolic dimension, showing that humanity will always find ways to interpret what it sees in the sky and what it means for their lives. So, have you ever stopped to think about how these prophecies might impact your life? Each one of them brings an invitation to reflection and, more than that, to action. The Bible is not just an ancient book, it is a living guide that directs us in challenging times. What do you think God is trying to tell us with all of this? Imagine if each of these prophecies were to be fulfilled before your eyes. How would you prepare for it? The truth is that the fulfillment of the scriptures calls us to constant vigilance and active faith. And what if, instead of just observing, you became an agent of change? How about living in such a way that each day is a preparation for what is to come? God's promise is an anchor in the storm, and knowing that we are approaching a prophetic time can fill us with hope and courage. So, tell me, how are you going to apply everything you learned today? Don't forget to share your reflections in the comments. And remember, each day is a new opportunity to live your faith in an intense and transformative way. Let's go together on this journey.